everyone's saying are dry brushing. Let's go, let's go. Woo, crazy. Whoa. Spicy. Ooh, I don't think I've ever tried spicy. At Jollibee's. Bucky's? Dude. I did watch a bunch of Bucky's videos, and I was like, holy shit, this place looks crazy. Oh, you must have been to Bucky's 16, right? Yeah, it seems like a lot of people recommend the pops. What are they called? Those little corn, the jumbo corn pop things that you mentioned. Okay, that's a good. It's pretty good. Oh, nuggets. I was struggling to remember the name. Okay, where is? There should be another piece that I'm not seeing at the moment. And hopefully I didn't lose it. But we'll keep going for now and hope that it turns up. Let me just hold this. Let me just put it here. Once I can mount it. Let's see. Oh yeah, and then I was talking about it with my brother, and we looked up the closest one, and it's in Ohio. I think it's Ohio, or unless you want to just drive like straight to Florida or something. That's a longer drive, but obviously, you know, just Florida is a destiny location, I guess. Is this working? I'm not sure if this is what I want. Let me think about this. Let's make my life a little easier if we just hold it. Avoid Ohio. I was like, okay, it's in Ohio, but I mean, like, what else are we gonna do there? Got any Gunpla conventions, anime conventions over there? Alright. Okay. I think I want to paint these things a different color, but for now we'll just paint it bronze. Alright. I gotta get more paint. Hold on. Okay. Let's make sure this is shooketh. Let me take a look here. So, I applied much more bronze to this mini than I have here, and I kind of like the duller look on this. So I'm not going to go push it much further than this, I think. That's what I've determined. Alright. I think we can kind of get some dry brushing onto here, just with this smaller brush in the spots that I want. I'm using this smaller brush because I can get a lot more control. G-Reco? It's a mess. Okay, let's pump the brakes on this piece, and we'll move on to the next piece. We gotta get... The goal is to get at least a little bit of paint on everything. Like, there's so many board games out there that have cool minis. Literally, there's a board game company called Cool Mini or Not. Or rather, they're called CMON or Come On right now. Like that's what they're called currently, but the original business was a website where you could just... It was like Hot or Not for minis, and it was Cool Mini or Not. But my point being that there was a period of time, I don't know if it's kind of stopped, but there was a period of time where the minis were a big factor when it came to attracting people to board games. Held minis without smearing paint. Yeah, 16's got the Primo Advice alligator clips, or a painting handle. So yeah, so I'm using alligator clips right now. So I was saying earlier, dry brushing is a pretty good technique to use when a model has a lot of detail. This piece here, as you can see, has a lot of ridges. It's a lot of ridges, and I actually added a bit more detail. And this is another example where there's just so much detail that as you're dry brushing, it's catching only the raised parts and leaving the underlying base coat. So it's a pretty nifty technique. Earth Elemental had some amazing detail. Nice. Honestly, the WizKids range, I'm assuming it's a WizKids model of minis, are great because they're fairly inexpensive. And there's so much variety, right? So many different kinds. Whenever I'm at a store that has D&D minis, I usually spend like, a good 5-10 minutes just looking at all the minis that they have, if there's anything neat. The big monsters too. Those are fun to paint as well. Any larger monster. Because the thing about like the human-sized D&D minis is that they're quite small. So it's not impossible to paint them, but I think the resolution, so to speak, the amount of detail that they can put into a small model like that is kind of limited due to again how small it is, but also I think it's partly due to the material that they use and stuff like that. However, if you paint a larger mini, like a monster, makes your life a lot easier. Oh, okay, it was Reaper, okay. Okay, let that be. I think we've got all the legs done, and we just have this head left, I think. So the plan, I think we're just going to hold this. The plan is that we're going to dry brush this as we have been, and then pick out some details with color, something bright. Pick out some details. And then make it rusty. Or, now that I think about it, because I'm using this copper bronze color, maybe we should use the verdigris. I might have to get that out now. I'm not sure if I'm gonna get to that stage today, but I'll try and get it out now. Gonna get more paint. Might take a break soon. But yeah, welcome on in, everyone. Thanks for hanging out with me today. Doing some painting. I did not paint at all last month. My plan is to paint every month, or I did paint last month, but it was like right at the start. My plan is to kind of get a project done every month, and we've missed the mark already. But it's the goal. It's, you know, you don't have to always reach it, but it's the goal. And pretty soon we're gonna get down to some really, really serious painting. We've got some. I would say this is more of a casual scaled project. But we have some serious painting projects ahead of us, including some experimenting as well. Fact-finding mission, because I did pick up a did pick up an airbrush recently, or rather earlier in the year, but I haven't been able to actually use it until yesterday. I gave it a spin, gave it a shot. And it went pretty well. But what is up, Resin? Nice to see you here. How are you liking the airbrush process? So, I would say I'm learning. You know, I'm learning on the job. And I think the big thing for me right now is just getting used to the workflow. Like, and what I mean by that is I've got my paint booth right here, and then I've got like my little spray out pot off to the right, and I've got my compressor off to the left, and I just got to get used to like, what do I need to have handy close by. You know what I mean? Like, it's that kind of thing. And then there's things like the pressure. How much pressure should I put? How far away should I have the airbrush? All of that I'm getting used to. He was very skilled and knowledgeable. I'm just so. But there's a lot of talented people around. Well, thank you, 16. I feel like you're more than so. And you've got so much information, and we love having all the information handy from 16 and so many others. So I did this spoon, and as I was spraying it, I couldn't tell. Maybe it was because of the lights, but I couldn't tell the difference, right? Because it's a white spoon and it's a very light gray, right? Where'd I get that spoon? It was individually wrapped. Let me just say, it was an individually wrapped spoon. And I might have several of those. And as you can see here, I pushed the airbrush way too close. And we got some texture. And that's not what we want. But this side is a lot nicer. I think I might strip the spoon, and just continually use the same spoon for everything. Whoa. I was saying the only thing that I kind of want to address is like the noise, the compressor. It's like a small little baby compressor, but it still is kind of noisy in my opinion. So Gnarly had the good idea of using some kind of foam. Rest it on some foam. Alright, so that is a nice base coat on everything. Let's see how this is gonna look with everything together. It looks like the application has been a little heavier on the face, so we'll try and match that a little better. This side isn't really going to be seen all too much. Toothpicks. You know what? I should get some toothpicks just off to the side for my desk. Because I do have a little thing of Q-tips, but not toothpicks. I always got to run to the kitchen. Always got to run to the kitchen for some Q-tips, but that's a good point. I should get some handy dandy toothpicks. All right. It's better. So, regarding technique with I always want to say airbrushing. With dry brushing, like, you want to keep your brush moving constantly and just barely touching your model. And you just kind of keep on going like this. And I'm not smashing it in really hard, and I'm not smushing it or kind of doing any kind of brush stroke left to right. It's more like a very quick pass, and you can kind of see the colors impart onto the model, and that's all you want. And you're really trying to only get the raised area. Like, this side here is much more flat, and so we're kind of just getting like more coverage that way. But this is just tickle, just barely tickle. So yeah, and if you kind of hold it in the light, you can see it. And there's definitely parts where the original black primer is showing through, right? And that's kind of what you want. Oh, set the boundary. Liquid masking. When to stop? Honestly, it's a good idea to kind of do less. Like, every pass, every kind of every once in a while, just stop and kind of just take a look. And you can always add more, but it's a lot harder to take away. That's something that I go back to quite a lot when it comes to painting and weathering and stuff like that too. But just give it a rest. Like, and so at this point, I think I'll just stop. Yeah, at this point I'll stop and I'll look at it later. But I do indeed, you can type in !Discord, and that should get you where you need to go. I'll allow that. You should stop. Same for weathering too. If you can see it, you can stop. Alright. So, let's get this piece. You can dodge a wrench, you can dodge a ball. Let's get this piece in just a little bit. It's kind of loose. And now we can dry brush the whole thing as like a fully considered model. And we can kind of get a better idea of how much to apply, where we need to kind of balance things. But it's looking pretty good right now. It's looking pretty good. And the plan is to pick out some other pieces with like different colors and do some weathering and stuff, which we might not be able to get to today. But that is the plan. Let's kind of do a little cleanup here. Hell yes. Yeah, it's I'm liking it. I think we're on the right track. The key is not to linger on any one piece for too long and not to overdo it. World Cup. Oh yeah, I should watch some World Cup. Honestly, you know what's really fun is seeing all the interactions with people. We talked about it, the people traveling out to the States and experiencing the wonders of America. Some Buc-ee's. Large portion sizes. Giant cups of soda. Free refills. Someone went to... It was like a Japanese person. And they went to a Mexican place. And they brought them a plate of nachos and salsa. And they were like, I didn't order this. It's free. It's free? How could it be free? I love that. Honestly, I love that. Find a time. Alright, last final pass. We'll take this much, much brighter. And we'll do a tiny, tiny bit of this, but I don't want to overdo it. If I end up doing more dry brushing, I might create one of those dry brushing palettes. Do you know about that, old type? Dry brushing palettes? I think it's a good idea. I think that's some good tech. Right. Let's see. Let me find a YouTube link here. It's basically, instead of drying your brush with a paper towel, you use a bunch of scrap plastic. And that way your paint retains the moisture and it doesn't like dry up so much as it would if you're using a paper towel. Texture palette is what they call it. And let's find something new to listen to. What do we got here? Okay, let's just play these two. I don't know what it is.
Like an avalanche.
Really struggle with that. Okay, it's not like different colors. And what kind of brush are you using, by the way? Because it might be a good idea to look into a dedicated dry brush, you know, like a short bristled brush.
Like an avalanche.
Oh, you recently picked some up. Okay. So here, this guy's making... So what you do is you glue a bunch of stuff on it. Wicking off the paint. Even though the thing itself looked kind of cool. Well, no, it's... I feel like, you can still get good results doing it the other way. But this is something that I had seen much more recently, and it seems like it's very useful. And yeah, I think that the results that you got on your inner frame all looked very, very good. I'm not using one. I love doing it. Because I love it.
Like an avalanche.
Okay. I think that might be it. Whoop!
Like an avalanche.
Trying to get only the raised parts now. Alright. Ah.
Like an avalanche.
Shiny.
Like an avalanche.
We'll have to decide what we're gonna paint these tubes. Tamotu that came with Hatsune Miku and do this now. You should, dude. It's you know, with Gunpla it's the same thing, master grades, real grades. Like, they have such cool details on the inside, but, you know, we never see it, right? Because you want to show off how it looks when it's fully complete.
Like an avalanche.
But with something like Tamotu, you know, why not? Why not? Let me clean this brush. And we'll see about working on something. We'll see about what the next thing we're going to do on this model is. Clean this brush. This is just alcohol.
Like an avalanche.
Yeah, it's less about doing it wrong. It's just like learning new techniques. That's honestly one of my favorite things about the hobby is like finding new techniques, new skills, new things to try. Do you know what I'm saying? Like early. Oh, I'm also realizing something. Is there any metallic particles? I think all three of these cups have metallic particles in them, so I can't really use any other paint other than metallics right now. A dry ass towel. I think it just became damp over time. Um, you know what? I had, oh, I don't know if I can find it. I had a bunch of tubes ready, but now I don't know where they are. So we got to think of the game plan now. What other colors are we going to use? Uh, I was thinking about these things being like a different color, maybe like beige, and some of the inner details like that panel. But mostly I think it'll be just this bronze color. And then I want to use uh, verdigris. Do I have it here somewhere?